How do you sell? And I know a lot of Cowboy players, Cowboy fans are, they look at DeMarcus and they're like, oh, he doesn't get any sacks anymore. But he's winning. If you look at his, metrics, he's winning all his pass rush matchups. He's got a ton of pressures. How do teams weigh sacks nowadays versus, some of these advanced stats that show that he is getting pressure on the quarterback without getting the actual sack?
Yeah, I think it's really easy. Brian McIntyre is our analytics director here at GSE. He's been with me 11 years. There's some things that we do, which is called EPA, which is expected points allowed and expected points not allowed, disallowed. And DeMarcus, when he's on the field, the Dallas Cowboys defense is significantly better. It's almost dramatic. It's probably, I think, 2.5 yards when we did his analytics package for him this year. And really, you just put on the tape, right? Unfortunately for DeMarcus, he had a freak injury. It's the first week of the NFL season. Just coincidentally, totally randomly, I guess it's not random because Tom Brady came out of his retirement for 15 minutes. But last night, after the free agency kind of window started to die down, I was eating dinner around 10:30 at night, and they had on the Cowboys-Buccaneers game. I'm sorry, the Cowboys did lose that game. But you watched DeMarcus Lawrence on national television against a very, very good offensive line, against the defending Super Bowl champions, and my God, he was dominant for 60 minutes. Dominant. And I mean this when I say this. I'm not saying it's because I'm his agent. We were like, holy moly, he's going to have 20 sacks this year. It was mind-blowing how dominant he was and how good he was. And you wonder, and obviously we're going to get to see, healthy Tank and a healthy Micah and some other pieces of the puzzle that I'm sure the organization will add. How excited is Dan Quinn, man? I was talking to DQ last night, and he was super instrumental in this. We have a great relationship, and I have a ton of love for him, and I can't wait for him to be a head coach again. I know Cowboys fans don't want to hear that, but I absolutely love the guy. And I think he's a rock star, and I've had a bunch of players with him in Atlanta and in that horrible situation there, when they lost that 28-3 Super Bowl. But to be frankly honest with you, I think that it's just going to be super fantastic. It's going to be unbelievable, and I can't wait to come to AT&T Stadium to watch that defense just dominate, because I think they're going to be really, really special.
The agent for DeMarcus Lawrence, David Canter, here on Shan and RJ on the Diamond Factory hotline. Is the salary cap real?
No, not at all. No.
Why not?
No. It's a very maneuverable instrument, but it is a absolute 100% detriment to the players. It is hidden behind. So here's the thing that fans don't see, and that agents don't really ever get to know the official number. But owners every year do a budget, and they give their GM and their contract negotiator what's called a cash spend. It's their cash budget. That is the immovable object. So you're factoring how much cash do we have to spend on our 7, 10, 12 rookies? How much cash can we spend at guard, at tackle, at center, at left backup, at right backup, at defensive end, at defensive tackle, wide receiver, corner, etc. And then your cash budget, which is the actual money that will go out for the 2022 season. There are plenty of owners that pull back. I met with the GM and his entire staff this year in Indianapolis during, our not tampering tamper window. And they were like, listen, we got big problems. They were like, we're going to make a trade for a major position, and they did. They're like removing a player, and our owner came in and slashed our cash budget by 30%. And to be honest with you, the fans never get to see that, because if they did, they might want to ask for the ticket prices to be slashed 30%,
right. And
they probably realize that the win total likely gets slashed 30%, right? It's really hard to win in this league if you're just pinching pennies. The Bengals are the rare exception, right? Mike Brown, they got lightning in a bottle for a 4-game stretch last year. They were one series away from being the Super Bowl champions, and the Bengals historically don't do the deals that you're seeing out there. They do 1 year of fully guaranteed money, and then the rest is pay as you play and play as you pay. And to be honest with you, it's a broken, antiquated model for an ownership group that is broken and antiquated. But They got Joe Burrow. They got great players around Joe Burrow, and they got really hot at the right time of the year where you just got to catch a nice streak and you could ride it all the way to a Super Bowl trophy, and they almost did. I mean, I was in the game. I represent one of the captains of the team, Von Bell. I represent coaches on the defensive staff. It was amazing. Obviously, it was horrifying for my Rams guys, and then it all flipped. It all flipped in a matter of seconds. But no, the salary cap is a movable object. The teams use it to hide behind. The teams use it to get cheaper or younger or go draft, or they use it to get wiser and older and maybe more expensive. But you can always maneuver the salary cap. You can always restructure contracts. You can always sort of do the New Orleans Saints model, which is, hey, we got lucky with an onside kick, and everybody in the world thinks Sean Payton's a genius now, and let's just kick the can down the road for another 10 or 15 years on the salary cap, and then maybe one day we'll end up having to pay for it. And, oh, by the way, today's that day, right? Sean bailed on his team and is going to go talk on television and make a ton more money than he's already made, and everybody will still call him a genius for one onside kick of a Super Bowl when he had probably one of the best rosters in football for 10 years and didn't really win any other Super Bowls. As you can tell, I'm not a big Sean Payton.
Yeah, he's supposed to be our next coach here after the Cowboys, you give Mike McCarthy this roster. Well, I mean, the last thing, the reason we were asking about the cap is we've been doing this for 11 years with the Cowboys flagship. We have Jerry and McCarthy on. This is very un-Jerry-like to not be in win now mode with Amari gone, and then you're gonna let Tank go. We were all scared. Then La'el Collins, is he gonna go? And I'm sure you analyze a team's direction when you're preparing for negotiations. What does the Cowboys plan, or what did it appear like to you, David, this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Cowboys. I spent a lot of time with Will. I think we have a very good relationship, and I would say I hope friendship. And I spent a lot of time with Todd, who I love. I don't think anybody should be worried on Tuesday, March 15th. Tomorrow is free agency, not today. This is the dumb money, as we all know. Around the league, this is the dumb money. And this is when guys get cut, and this is when deals get restructured, and this is when sometimes the can does get kicked down the road. But to be totally sincere with you, I believe really strongly in the Cowboys' plan. I mean, listen, you were at the game against the 49ers last year, right?
Yeah.
One drive goes their way, and they're winning. And then who knows what's happening, right? So it's not like this isn't a team that's close. It's not like this isn't an organization that has had some history of winning and putting together playoff teams, right? I mean, I was at the Packers debacle when Jared Cook caught that pass, and, still to this day, I think it's probably the hardest loss I've ever been a part of, for a player. I'm still sick just talking about it. I mean, the throw, the pass, the loss, I mean, it's unbelievably heartbreaking. But at the end of the day, they're in the hunt, right? And so I think that you should be confident in the organization. I think you should be really confident in their ability to draft really good players, right? Last year, remember this time last year, every person in the world was like, the Cowboys got to get a corner, the Cowboys need another corner, and then the first two corners off the board go 8 and 9, and they're like, oh my God, Micah Parsons was an afterthought draft pick. I remember reading that. Yeah. I remember reading the stupid grades on it. It's like, no, these men do this for a living, right? Oh, by the way, is there anybody that would rather have Pat Surtain or I can't remember the other corner, and I represented one that got drafted by Asante Samuel Jr. Oh, J.C. Horn. Is there anybody that's a Cowboys fan that would rather have either of those guys than Micah Parsons?
No.
No, right? So I think that this is a horrible cliche to say, but really trust the process. Like, the Cowboys are not a far football team from being a Super Bowl winner. Like, not just a Super Bowl contender, a Super Bowl winner. There are ridiculously good superstar football players that are on the market, that are still going to get deals, and that are more that are about to get released and more that are about to not get tendered or get restructured and get released by 4 o'clock tomorrow. So this is a 2 or 3 month process. This isn't, hey, day one, oh my God, look what Jacksonville did. Oh my God, the Dolphins signed our 4th wide receiver, Cedric Wilson. We're crazy. We're going to lose the Super Bowl. Oh my God, we traded a bad contract with Amari Cooper, whose production and productivity didn't equal his value, and there wasn't a way to redo it, and we just got a draft pick. No, You can't do that. You can't jump off the bridge and jump off the ledge day one of the tampering window. You have to look at this as a totality, and really, you can't really know what this team is going to be until probably the first week of May, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a massive shift at the linebacker. I represent Francis Bernard. He's not going to get the exclusive rights free agent tender. So you're going to now need to go in and replace a core special teams guy and a linebacker guy. I imagine the Cowboys are very much like a lot of the teams around the league. They want to get younger and faster at the linebacker positions, right? So you're looking for teams that are going to, like the trade that just went down with the Patriots. You know, they're looking for Mack to now go become the starting Mike backer, and, you know, Chase Winovich kind of get pushed out of the door, and it'll be kind of a rush outside backer in the Brown system. There's just so many moves and so much maneuverability, and I mean this when I say this. Like, I don't know the Cowboys' plan. It's not like they call me and they go, "Hey, David, thank you for doing DeMarcus's deal. Oh, by the way, here's the next 6 deals we're going to do." But I assume it involves a couple more edge guys.
Yeah.
Von Miller's still out there. Chandler Jones is still out there. Randy Gregory's still out there.